My name's Ryan Germany, 23 years old. I grew up in Ackworth, Georgia. My parents were loosely involved in a Presbyterian church, and very seldomly we would go there on like Christmas and Easter. I guess you could have called us like Creasters. We would have called ourselves Christians. Just kind of stopped attending church. It was really a thing where we'd much rather spend our Sundays at the lake or doing something else other than going to church. Saying prayers like before I go to bed, it was like a now I lay me down to sleep type prayer, just very, very routine. It was whenever I was in middle school, I had a friend who invited me to come to Westridge. It was a Revolution on Wednesday night. And I remember asking him when he invited me, I was like, how much money do I need to bring? I just was so confused about church. I thought I had to pay some type of membership due. So that just really shows like my misunderstanding that I had. I desperately wanted to be like one of the cool kids. It seemed like the popular crowd was kind of going down a little bit of a different route when I got into high school, so kind of led me to seeking the things of the world, like trying to seek satisfaction, things like alcohol, putting others beneath myself, just being really self-centered, while also putting these other people really up on a platform and giving them a whole lot of say in who I say I am, or I guess how secure I felt about myself. Going into sophomore year of high school, I met this girl named Taylor, and she really did love the Lord, and I thought she was the prettiest girl ever. And so I started pursuing her and really painting this picture that I was some really good guy, some good Christian guy. But then at the same time, I kind of behind her back, just with some friends, was just kind of wearing a different mask and getting into trouble and just lying about it. I found myself drinking and lying to her about it because I knew she'd be upset about that. It always left me feeling unsatisfied. This just kind of led me to think that there has to be something more. She would want me to come to Westridge. And so I'd come with her on Sunday, and I'd come and check it out, and I would enjoy it. I'd have a good time. She'd invite me to come to Reckless. I came kind of on and off until that following summer, going into junior year when I went to Rush Camp. I was so nervous. I wasn't really going to know anybody. Nobody kind of on that trip was really my crowd or those cool kids who I was trying to hang out with. So I finally convinced one of my friends to go too. I had this idea that it was going to be a week where I just get to go and hang out with her and spend a week at the beach with her. It sounded good to me. So I remember driving down there on the bus to Daytona, and things just felt different. It was almost like I was getting pulled out of my comfort zone. And so I remember sitting there in the service and just giving God all of my attention. I just thought about my past and how wretched I had been just living this double life. God still loved me through that. And that just brought me just to total submission to Him. I knew in my heart that at that time, I just gave Christ everything. And that hole that was in my heart that I'd felt when I had been pursuing the world, when I had been pursuing popularity, when I had been pursuing alcohol, I just felt that void being totally fulfilled. And I knew that it was just a total heart change from that point forward. So coming up to Friday, right before we got baptized in the ocean, I had all my friends there on the beach lined, cheering me on, and went there into the ocean, and Paul actually baptized me. And I just remember getting dunked into the ocean while the waves hit me and just coming up just so full of joy because of the blood of Jesus, because I put my faith and trust in Jesus, and that He now had all of me. I was ready to charge hell with a water pistol, and I was just so overwhelmed with joy, really just filled with zeal, and I couldn't get out of the Word. I had the opportunity to go to Georgia Southern University. I had an amazing experience, grew in my relationship with the Lord a ton. And it was one of those summers I had the opportunity to actually go back to Rush and go as a leader. One of my students actually wanted to get baptized. And it was so beautiful just getting to be there next to him and watch him experience the same joy that I had experienced just a few years ago when I was at Rush. Yeah, so you remember that girl Taylor who invited me to go to Rush that year? Well, we ended up staying together throughout high school, did 4 years of long distance together, and when we graduated college, I got to marry my best friend. And so now it's so cool because now we get to serve alongside together at Revolution while we both serve a 7th grade small group. So teaching these middle schoolers in the very place that I used to sit is so special, as I get to sit there and I get to see the old Ryan sitting there, lost, not truly knowing Christ, and now getting to sit where I truly do, serving them, fully satisfied, truly experiencing the power of the gospel.